Okay guys, so how's she going today? So here's another video. And my Vice has got some it's got some frost on her. It's gonna I've seen it a lot worse, that's for sure, but not too bad today. But anyways, I got my heater going again. It's been going for about an hour. Maybe you can hear out there. If you can hear out, there's an F5 tornado coming by right now. Okay, not really, but there's some majorly stupid light. There's some majorly high winds going on right now. Came out here earlier, around 10:30 or so, to get this heater going, and it is now just about 1 o'clock, and we got 50,000 miles an hour winds going on out there, so it's freaking windy. But the wind is coming right now. It's coming more from the southwest. So, and that's supposed to slowly change and come south. It's supposed to just come south now, but it's still coming from the west mostly, but I guess it's supposed to kind of change direction. So then it's going to head south, or it's going to come from the south, meaning it's going to bring warm air. Starting probably later tonight. I don't know. I think it already has brought some warm air down up here, because I've been watching the Weather Channel app on my phone. This morning I checked it. It said it was 10 above, but with the wind that was blowing, it was -8 or something like that. Something like that anyways. But now I checked it, and it says it's 15 above out, but with the wind that's obviously blowing around right now, it is -2 with the wind. So it has warmed up quite a bit, and it's supposed to get a little bit warmer, I guess, throughout the night or something like that, because of the south wind now that's blowing. You can hear it. It's hitting the corner of my shop, which is probably not a good thing, because I'm going to probably get all that freaking air up in there. Damn it. I really wish I had a piece of freaking plastic or something to shove up in there. Sorry guys if you're seeing my ugly face, but I'm just checking for wind here. Oh yeah, definitely. Fucking definitely there's wind coming in there. So that's probably another reason why I really can't heat the spot too well, because see the daylight, yeah, right there. That's my hole for my extension cord to come through. So, but I had to make it big because the connections were pretty big on my extension cord. You know, it's a heavy duty extension cord, so need a big hole for them. So I don't know if I could. I don't know if I have any more plastic. I doubt it. I got one on the tiller, but I kind of want to keep that one there. So, but anyways, yeah, it's supposed to get a little bit warmer out, and then yeah, I'll be glad when this month is over with, because then it should, you know, start slightly warming up. We shouldn't be get this below zero crap anymore. It's just, I'm tired of it. Stay there. So, give you guys a quick update here. I think I said on Sunday's video that I checked the sewer tank and it was still empty. I haven't looked at it yet today, but I think I'm just gonna wait straight to Tuesday and look. But because, you know, we were having that gurgling sound again, and yesterday I went and got the ladder at the farm, and I went and climbed up on top of the roof, and they were clogged with ice again. So I just took a metal rod and I just stabbed it and broke it up. I don't know if that's, I mean, it just fell down the pipe, so I don't know where it's gonna go, but it's down in the pipe there somewhere. So I never did ever. They say to pour hot water down there, but what good that'll do, I don't know, because you think it would just freeze. and that'll cause another bigger, ass ache later on. So, but anyways, I climbed up there and I stabbed those pipes and opened them up, and I still, even when I showered, I still heard it gurgle a little bit. My mom said that this morning she heard it gurgle, but it wasn't as bad. So it's still gurgling. So if I don't know, maybe the vent is still clogged with ice. Maybe when I shoved the pipe in there, I didn't break it up good enough. I don't know. I don't know, like, if maybe the tank can't be frozen, because why would it freeze? And where would the water go? The water has nowhere to go besides in the pipe. I mean, it would work its way, I guess, eventually through the pipe, but I mean, it has to go somewhere, It has to be able to grow a little bit, that water. So I don't know. Maybe the tank is finally frozen, and the water level can't go anywhere, but all the solids and stuff can make it out fine, but the water can't. So the only other option I got would be, I'm gonna check it on Tuesday and see if the tank is frozen, or if the water level has come up. If it's coming up, holy shit, that's an F5 right there. If the water level, is rising, then the tank's not frozen. So then I don't know where the hell the gurgling is coming from. Then the pipe's probably still clogged, and it's just gonna have to stay clogged, because I already did what I frickin' could. And another thing I gotta tell you too here, I was a little bit nervous climbing up on my roof. Well, I haven't climbed on top of a roof in years. It's been years since I've ever done that. I think the last time I ever had climbed up on top of a roof was when I lived back at the farm when I was just a little kid. And that was a lot smaller house too. This is a much bigger house, so much higher up too. But the thing was the ladder that I was using. Now it's my uncle's ladder, but my great grandpa bought that. I suppose new, back in the good old days when everything was made out of frickin' wood. Well, I'm not a big fan of wooden ladders. I'm absolutely not a fan of them. It did support my weight, but the thing is that it bows a little bit, and I'm 200 and probably 230 pound man, and that thing bows pretty good. But then when my uncle climbs up it bows very little. Well, he probably weighs less than 100 pounds. I mean, he's a pretty heavy smoker, so he doesn't weigh a lot, and the ladder doesn't really bow when he goes up it. So, and another thing too, with this stupid ladder is that it's wide at the bottom, like it's really, really wide for it to be stable. But then at the top, it's really narrow, and that's what I hate the most, because when I turn around, because when you're on the roof and you got to turn around to climb back down that ladder, it's a totally different world compared to just going straight up it, Because now you're looking at it on a different angle, and you're like, oh, this is so much tinier than I thought, and it's literally pretty damn scary using that freaking ladder. I hate it. So I'm looking for ladders that are wide on both ends, because I know that if the ladders are wide at the bottom, then they're more stable. They don't have a tendency of wanting to wander off, So I've been looking at some ladders, and the only one that I was actually thinking about maybe making my own ladder out of steel or something, but figured, well, that's going to take a lot of work. So, and I didn't measure how long this ladder was. I was going to do that, but then I forgot. So, there's a ladder from Little Giant, which I heard they're pretty damn good, and they've been out for years. So, there is a A-frame ladder, which is the ones I like are, they're called the A-frame style ladders. I have one of those, but it's nowhere near as tall as this one. So it's just like a little, like, it barely fits in here. It's about the height as I don't know, probably about the height of this board, maybe. Well, probably not quite that high, but it's high enough, you know. But um, it's not. You obviously can't climb up. You can't climb up on a roof with that kind of a ladder. But the one I was looking at um, is a Little Giant multi-use ladder. You actually get two ladders out of one, which is really surprising. Even I didn't think it did that, but it does. But that's mostly if you're going to run like a 2x6 or something like that, or whatever, you know, across that to make like a little catwalk kind of thing or something, you know. So, but I forgot to measure this ladder that I had here. So the one I'm looking at from Little Giant, I can get them on Northern Tool too. So, but they're a lot of money. They're like $250, $260. But what I like about this, it's a classic model, which is like the first design that they ever came out with. They got other ones now, obviously, too. A lot bigger and a lot more heavy dutier and stuff. But this is just like a general purpose ladder kind of stuff. So, but what I like about this one is that it'll do the A-frame style ladder, and then it'll also do a extension ladder too. You just it pivots in the middle. And then you can go from A-frame to, you know, extension ladder kind of thing, you know, where it's really long. That's what this old ladder is here that we have now, or the one that I had at the farm. That's how that, you know, it's just one big piece, right? It's not like the A-frame style ladders. So, but why I was thinking of making my own ladder was because I wasn't liking how this ladder was, and you can't have them too vertical or they just won't, you know, they won't, I mean, they'll support your weight, but I mean, it increases your chances of it, you know, rolling back on you. So that's why they say to keep it at a certain degree of an angle. So if you do kind of lean back, you don't pull the whole ladder over with you. So, but what I was thinking of doing was to make, if I was going to make my own ladder, which I don't think I'm going to, because I think Little Giant has pretty much has what I'm looking for, but there's a couple things they don't have. I could maybe adapt something to it. They do have a kit that I'm going to talk about here in a minute, but that's mostly for if you're going to work around windows or something like that, you know. But the thing with this old wooden ladder that I had used is that it doesn't hug the roof. Obviously, I mean, you know, most ladders don't, but I think I would feel a little safer where it actually hugged my roof. So what I mean by that is, like, I don't know what I can use as an example as a roof, besides going outside and actually using my roof, but it's too windy out, so maybe we'll use this vise as an example. See how you got this little hump right here, this little curve? Well, that's how your roof is. Well, normally your ladder would only go up, you know, so far or something like that. I want a ladder where it'll come up and then actually kind of hug the roof part of it, so then it's actually up on the roof, you know, which I don't think they make any ladders like that, but that's what I think would be a much safer design for me, you know, because it's like the ladder's already on the roof, you know, and then you can just simply, you're already on the ladder and on the roof at the same time, so you know it's not going to go anywhere. But because this ladder was simply just hugging like the gutter, that's all it was leaning up against was my gutter. Like, well, that's going to bend my gutter for one thing, but it never did. But you know, see, the thing is with that, you have to, when you get to the very top of the ladder, you have to pretty much well jump, you know, to get over that. You really have to get yourself cocked in such a way where you can climb off the ladder without you kicking the ladder away or something like that, you know. I'm not a fan of that. Plus, there wasn't really much of a ladder there once you got to the top of the roof, you know. So there's only like one extra step left. It's like, well, that's not for. And I went to the roof that's over my garage because that one's a lot lower than my actual house roof. So I figured, well, that would be the safest way to go, is to go up on my garage roof first and then walk my way over, you know. So, but what I was thinking of doing was I could build a ladder, or I could simply buy a Little Giants ladder and I could adapt to it. But I don't think they really want you modifying their ladders a lot. Well, the way I think I would modify it, it wouldn't even change the design of their ladder. If they made something where I could simply bolt it or clamp it to their ladder without actually, like, drilling through it, it's almost like those U-bolts where that truck axles use, they're like a U-bolt. Something like that, where you could just simply slide it over the ladder's existing frame, bolt it down, and then it would be already there. But what I wanted to do was, like I said, go over the roof, onto the roof, and then I wanted to put stabilizer legs on the outer ends. They already make that kit, extension legs for the, that would go on the outside of your ladders. But that's mostly for if you're going to work around windows and the ladder can only be that certain way. Well, I think they do make them where if it's up against the roof, it won't twist when you're way up there, because ladders can kind of twist as you go up higher. So that's why they made the stabilizer legs too for the very top. So then it won't twist as much, or it won't slip as much. Well, see, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to take that very same design, but instead of going up against a wall or a window, it would simply go over my gutter, on top of my roof, and then the legs, if you can see my fingers, those are the legs. Here's the ladder, here's the legs. They would both hug the top of the roof, That's what I wanted to do, and make it where the ladder went up onto the roof, so you're actually, even though you're already on the roof, you're actually still climbing the ladder. It's just, to me, that would seem safer. Because the way I was doing it when I climbed up, even though the ladder was, 1 or 2 steps above the gutter, I was still hanging on to the gutter, end of the ladder. I was hanging on to the gutter to, stabilize it, so it wouldn't go tipsy, but it was the point of actually getting up onto the roof is the most scariest part for me. So I did fine when I was a little kid, so I don't know why I'm so scared now, but it's been years since I've been on top of a roof. I haven't done that in years. It's been years. It's been at least 15 plus years. It's been a long freaking time, and I didn't want to call my plumber back to come and tell him to freaking unclog my pipes again. I'm not paying another $65 for just that. I was up there less time than he was. He came up here, and he was up there for maybe 3 minutes. I was up there for, well, I shoveled a little bit of snow too. I did like a little trail up there, which I'm not gonna include that into the time that it took me to clog my pipes. It's just, climbing up there and then stabbing the pipes. That was less than like a minute. So, and another thing too is with when you want to go off the roof, and onto your ladder. Well, see, there and that's when something bad could happen. You could misstep, or the ladder could just simply fall over, and you're freaking screwed. You're either gonna go down with it, or you're gonna be hanging onto the roof where your gutters, or you'll be sitting on your roof waiting for someone to show up and save your ass, right? So that's why I kind of was looking for a ladder where it was like already on the roof, where I could just simply kind of like crawl my way over, so I do not have to make these big steps, because it's a big step from the step on your ladder to your roof, and it's just that general area right there is when a lot of mistakes can happen. And I don't climb, ladders that high all the time, so it's still kind of somewhat new to me, but so that little ladder that I have now, I don't have a problem climbing that thing, but I'm not climbing it all the way to the bitter top. So, but I know that Little Giant makes ladders. They're fairly beefy. They're made out of aluminum. I would either take aluminum fiberglass or just plain steel ladders. I don't want these wooden, things. Maybe a wooden ladder would be okay if you're gonna do maybe like a small repair where you're not climbing on top of your roof. Maybe you're just doing like a paint job to a window and you don't need to climb that high. But maybe your house isn't that big. Maybe a wooden ladder is fine. But for me, and maybe if you're a light person too, like if you weigh less than 100 pounds. I'm probably like 250 million pounds. I'm a heavy son of a bitch. And then you got, I was wearing the overalls, the boots, that all adds up for weight too. So these wooden ladders are just not meant for me. That's kind of what was the most scariest part, is knowing that, well, it's just this son of a bitch going to take my weight. Climbing halfway up and boom! Then I go fall into my face. I don't need that. So, and these little giant ladders, they're not little, well, they can be little, but they can also get pretty freaking big too. So, the one I was looking at, I think it's a little bit too big, but I forgot to measure this ladder. So, the one I was looking at was when it's all extended out into extension ladder mode, it's 17 feet long. So, that, I think it can actually go even longer than that. Maybe. I know, I think once you extend the whole thing, once you get it unfolded, because I think with the foldable ladders or the A-frame ladders, there's actually another ladder inside that, and you can take that off and make another ladder. That's how you would make your walkway there. So, I think once you extend it out, or unfold it and extend those ladders, those second part of the ladders out, that's the total length. I know they come in like a 10 foot and a 12 foot and a 15 foot and up and up and up. The one I was looking at was a 17 foot. I don't know if that actually probably could be too big. But I kind of wonder too if it maybe wouldn't be better, because what I could actually do there is, even though it hinges in the middle, well, there's obviously lock points on that. I don't know if this ladder is exactly designed for the way I'm thinking, but put the ladder maybe to its max height and actually bend the ladder. Like if it's doing it like an A-frame thing, you can bend it so it actually hugs the roof a little more. But then you'd be kind of going like from this, to like your regular A-frame style ladder to then probably something like this. To me that would seem a little safer, because you're hugging the roof more. But the thing with that is that those ladders have wheels on one end, and they want that end up on the up. So I don't know if that would mess it up for having it like that with the wheels on it too. I mean, you probably could take the wheels off. So the wheels are just so, for easy transport around. You don't have to actually hold the whole weight of it. You can just pull it pretty much. So, but what else? That's one way I could probably go. Let's get the 17 foot, and then maybe if it would allow me to bend it just right, I could actually just lay it right up on the roof. Because it'd be more comfortable for me to start my ladder, to climb the ladder, or descend from the ladder if it's already on the roof. And it won't slip and it won't fall. So, because it's kind of, for one, it's got a wide foot, on it, so it's not going to go tipsy, unless you're hanging off the bitter end of it, but, you're not supposed to do that. So I really don't know. Like I said, I was thinking that if the ladder didn't do that, I could possibly almost make, like, there's another ladder I looked at too. This was actually kind of a cool ladder. It's not made by Little Giant though. I think it was made by someone else. It's still the same A-frame style ladder, but then going up the center of it is actually another vertical ladder. It's almost like a grab handle. So I thought that would be kind of cool, because then if you could get it to match the roof line, then you could climb up that, that vertical one a little bit, and then jump up onto the, or not jump onto the roof, but climb over. It's kind of, like an extra grab handle for you. But I don't know how much they go for, but I mean, yeah, they're more professional grade ladders, but that's something I think I should have for climbing up on the roof because this is a much bigger roof, and the ladders I have, I don't like them. Well, I mean, the one I have is aluminum, but that's not a big ladder, and that can't go, straight. That's only an A-frame ladder. And you can buy other attachments for them and stuff too, which I probably plan on doing. So I'll actually put the link to the 17-foot ladder. I'm not sure if I'll get the 17-foot though. It might be too big, but it might also be a good thing too because you can probably bend it in such a way where it'll actually just hug the roof. So, because when you normally have a ladder, the one that we have, like I said, just goes something like this. Okay, and then you have to kind of jump over it or climb across it or whatever. I want something that'll actually kind of hug it a little bit. Actually, hug the roof. Not the whole thing, but I mean just, like a good foot or so up onto the roof. That's what I want. Something where it's not going to obviously twist or cause an issue. Because I'm not a big fan of having to, turn around at the bitter end of the roof yet, and try to walk your way down. That's the scariest part right there. And see, the thing with this ladder too at the farm, it's narrow at the top. That's what makes it even scarier. The little giant ladders, they're wide on both ends. So that, well, there's a little bit more, there's more to hang on to and there's more of a footprint, Like, and if you're wearing these big monster boots like I am right now, and you try to climb up to the bitter top with that ladder, there's about this much room between your feet and the ladder side supports, So, you could, with a small ladder like that, you could make a misstep or you could step on your own foot and then you have to lift your leg again to try to find the next step. That's where the mistakes happen. With a wide footprint ladder, you can step anywhere and it's going to be fine. I mean, your best bet would be to make sure that you step in the middle of the ladder, so then you're putting your weight equally on the ladder. But it's tricky with a ladder that's wide at the bottom and skinny at the top. And I don't like those kind of ladders. I don't know why the hell they made them that way. I mean, it's fine if you're going to do small jobs, paint a window, that kind of stuff. But if you're climbing up on your roof and if you're going to do that for a living, that's where you need to have something that's more safer. So I'll put the link to the ladder I'm looking at below, or I'll put the link to the ladder I'm looking at below and then in the description, and you guys can check it out. This ladder that I'm looking at is made by Little Giant. The other one I was looking at is made by a totally different company. I'm not even sure because that I just Googled. But I like that ladder better because it was still the A-frame design, which is what I like better than just a single leg design or the single ladder. A little more stable that way, and then it also has a vertical one going straight up, which you're not really. I don't think it's supposed to really climb that, but you probably could climb. It's not very tall. It'd be more like a good grab handle than anything else. So we'll see if you could get that kind of a ladder level with the roof, then you can grab onto that and then just climb onto the ladder. You don't have to jump. You don't have to stretch your legs way out, and if you have to, you can look down and see where you're stepping and not, and then have to worry about, oh, well, if I look down, I'm going to, be heavier on the top end and tip it over, I think it's time that, we design these ladders a lot safer. I mean, they're getting better, obviously. I mean, Little Giant's made some pretty damn good ladders over the years, and I've never owned one, but they're expensive, too. For the 17-footer, which is 17 feet when it's fully extended out, that one was like $260. Very expensive ladder, but I think it would be the best bet for me. Because I don't think I'm climbing back on top of my roof without that kind of a ladder, because this one is just a joke. It's just, I mean, it probably wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't be that bad if I was climbing up on the old house back at the farm, because that's a low level house. That's not jacked up on anything. It's not up on a hill or nothing like that, like this one is. So it's a smaller house, so it's more lower. So it's not as scary. But this is a big freaking house, and this is really way up there. And then I got, of course, the attic too. I don't use the attic for anything. I don't think you can even use it, but well, you could. You just have to lay plywood and stuff down. But in other words, I'm not using it for anything. But it's much bigger than what the old house was. The old house was a lot smaller attic. Of course, definitely never could use that because the wiring was just all over the place. So it would have to be completely rewired in order to make it usable. At the old house at the farm. So that's why I was thinking of another thing I was thinking of doing is if the 17-foot ladder could hug the roof. I was actually going to buy the stabilizer legs for him too. And then that way it's actually, it can't twist. Even though the footprint on that top end of that ladder is pretty wide too, but it would be even wider if you got the leg extensions for it. That's where I think it would be a lot safer. And at least that way you wouldn't have to have someone holding the ladder too, because, I'm not a big fan of these kind of wooden cheap ladders. I don't care if they used a 2x4 or 2x6 or whatever, to make a ladder out of it. Well, it would work, but I mean, it would have to be built my way. It'd have to be built to my liking, not just built some damn Chinese way and say, yeah, here you go, But I don't think I still wouldn't want a ladder even made out of a 2x6, or even a 6x6 or something, I don't want something like that. I want steel, aluminum, or fiberglass, And Little Giant, I think they're aluminum, so unless it's stainless steel, no, it can't be stainless steel. It's got to be aluminum. But most ladder, I have a aluminum ladder, so I got one at the farm too. Ran that over with the Big 10, so that one's kind of dickered. Yeah, I ran that over with Big 10, so yeah. So that's what I think should happen. So hopefully, if we have another venting issue, my uncle can go climb up there because he's a little more braver than I am, and and plus he's lighter. He doesn't make that ladder bow as much as I do. I'm a heavy son-bitch, and I'm just not a fan of those kind of. I don't mind those kind of ladders for small jobs, but when you're gonna go climb up on top of a damn roof, you need a real ladder for that. So I mean, I could easily make my own ladder. Too. I mean, I could go buy stuff like this. Stuff like this. Like this crap. And there you go. Because that's fairly thick. I mean, if this would take the load of a garage door, I'm sure it could take the load of me. And yes, these parts are for my garage door. Not the door itself, but the track is bolted to this, is bolted to a piece of wood. It's made out of wood, and I didn't really care for that. So he said that he would make up these sections for me where if it broke, I can replace them with these steel parts. So he gave me, these are the, these kind of doohies. I got two of those, one for each side. And then he gave me two of these big sons of bitches, and these would get bolted to the roof or to the ceiling, and then this would get bolted. Like once you get the piece going up across, then this would get bolted to that. Okay, and then your track would get bolted to it down there. So then you'd put that cross angle in to support it from wanting to wander. So that's what this is for. So he made them up for me for a few more dollars. Like, yeah, fuck it, do it. He's like, well, I got the bits and pieces on right here. You want me to do it now? And I was like, yeah, fuck, do it. Add it to my bill. So when I have these pieces here, but I can probably go buy this stuff anywhere and make my own ladder out of that. It's got holes in it. It's probably not the best. I'm sure you could find solid pieces of stuff like that too, with no holes, and you could just drill your own. That'd be a little more stronger yet too. But see, that's something else I could do too, right? Is buy Little Giant's ladder. And then buy some stuff like that. and make my own. I either could make my own extension piece for that to go up onto the roof, or if their ladder could bend in such a way, like I said earlier, then it could lay on the roof, and I could either buy pieces like that and make stabilizers or legs myself, or I could just simply go buy their kit too. But their kit was more designed for like around windows and and up on walls, but it would probably work the same for a roof too. So that's just the way I think it should be done. To me, it would seem a lot safer because you're already you're halfway up the roof, and then you start climbing down on the ladder. Well, the way I was doing it, you're already hanging off the roof while you're making that climb down. So that's the scary part because you're going from roof to ladder, and you got that little jump there you got to do. So, well, it's not really a jump, but I mean you have to really bend your legs and stretch your legs out to get around that ladder, and that's what I don't like the most. So that's why I was thinking a ladder that would actually lay up on the roof would be better. And another thing too with Little Giant's ladder, they can be extended on both sides, so you can make one side longer than the other. So you really could fine tune that ladder to work with my style of roof. So, I mean, 17 foot, yeah, that seems kind of long, but I think that would be the best. That 17 feet is the max. That's how far you can stretch it out. So I don't know how tall it would be if it was an A-frame mode. But again, you can stretch that out too, and then your A-frame would be even taller. So like you can really do a lot with Little Giant's ladders. I've heard of them before, and I thought, well, that's kind of neat. But I never had the money for one, so. But hopefully now after a wee while, after this month, hopefully we won't get any more of that freaking. I'm just gonna have to let it gurgle. It'll just have to gurgle. That's all I can do. I'll check the tank come Tuesday, and if the water level went up, then it's not frozen. But if it's still the same, then the tank's got to be frozen. But I don't know how. But whatever. So just have to, I guess, figure something out. If the tank is frozen, I'll have to go grab the breaker bar at the farm because that's got a hook on it. And I could hook Big Red's winch to that, and then I could drop it down in there, let it smash the ice, and then I could pull it back up with the winch cable. So that's the only thing I could think of doing. So because I don't want to throw like a big concrete block down there and then never get it again, right? That's kind of stupid to do. So you need to be able to hook it off to something and pull it back up. You can't use a concrete block either because if it hits concrete down there, then you're gonna bust your concrete block and then you're not gonna be able to get the pieces out. So you got to use something steel where it won't break. But that's if I have to. I don't know if I would have to or not. So, ooh, see, it's nice and hot. I like that kind. Even though I wish it would stay nice and freaking warm in here, but it won't. I'm gonna have to see if I can find a piece of plastic or something. Maybe I can even shove an old rag up there. I know I have an old T-shirt that I'm not gonna wear anymore. I could shove it up in there. That would probably work. That's kind of thin though, but it would work. So, because there's just a lot of cold air coming up in that. That's kind of. I mean, I do plan on putting insulation up there too, but not as of right now. So, let me see if I have another piece of plastic. I don't think I do. I think I used them. I know I got one on the trimmer, but I need that one there. So. No, I don't. That's all I got. Shit. And I got one over the lawnmower to protect the engine. I got one over the trimmer's engine. Yeah, I don't have any more plastic. I'll have to grab maybe like an old T-shirt or something and shove it up in there. Even if it doesn't stop at 100%, it'll still slow it down. Woo! That's loud stuff. Yeah, but now my plastic's kind of sitting the way I like it now. It's actually blocked this whole freaking thing off pretty much. That's what I kind of like. Sometimes it'll do that and sometimes it won't. So she's a little, stupid, but whatever. So yeah, like I said, I'll put the link to the ladder down below. You guys can check it out. I know 17 feet would probably be a little bit too long, but I think it would probably be alright too, because not only am I going to use it for the roof, I possibly could use it to take this tree down. I can get up. I can get up a lot higher that way too. So, yeah. So, either way, it's going to be alright. Even if it's too big for the roof. If it's too big for the roof, I can use it for other jobs and go get a smaller one. So, and, you know, I have another ladder right here. This is actually a ladder right here. Right here. Or this thing. This here's a ladder, but that's even smaller than the one that I got now. So I'm just using it as the, well, it's always been there. But now I just put my junk on top of it. So, frick it. I don't like these cheap wooden stupid ladders anyway. It's a joke. It's fine for your small jobs, but when you get into those big jobs, no. Forget it. So, yeah, anyways, guys, I'm going to probably take off. Let me know what you think of the little giant ladder, if you think that would be better for me or not. I don't know, maybe even if the A-frame ladder from Little Giant, even if you left it in A-frame mode, or what, I mean, if you fully extended it out, but still in, you know, in the A-frame there kind of way, it still might be tall enough to reach my roof, but then you'd be coming off the side of it, and I don't know if that's really the safest thing to do either. So, because that's how we did it back at the old house too, because on that roof it was actually a lot lower, where you could take a regular aluminum ladder and climb on top of the roof. So, yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll just buy it. We'll just buy the 17-footer and say the hell with it, and just mess around with it. I'll mess around with it come spring. So, if I do decide, I'm going to get my router box. So, I'm going to get that done. Try to see if I can save up a little bit of money to maybe buy some warning lights for Big Red or something. I don't know. It's, you know, it's already getting kind of late into the season where I probably won't be plowing too much longer. So I don't know. It all just kind of depends. But I think, you know, a better ladder would be better off. Even if we don't use it for the roof, like in the summertime, I can still use it for other jobs. You know, I mean, I could paint windows with it, you know. I can climb up a tree and cut, you know, the tree down or something, you know. I can take it to the farm, climb up to the barn there and use it, you know, use it there, you know. It's never going to never do nothing. It's always going to be doing something. Just not on a daily basis, like, you know, like a pro would. I'd be using it once in a while, so. But that's the only thing I can think of doing, is maybe buying the ladder, seeing if it would fold up onto the roof a little bit, and then if it does, and if it's stable that way, then I can climb up on my roof that way. And if I feel like I need the stabilizers, I could put the stabilizer. I'm going to get the legs anyway. Even if I never use them, I'll get them anyway. I mean, yeah, $60 for, you know, the set of. I think you get the leg extensions, and then you get, I think, like a paint can stand thing for it too. I don't know, but they got lots of little attachment dewies for them. So I'm gonna find what I want, and there you go. And I should probably get Mother a little step ladder too. I know she's been kind of, when she likes to play around with her curtains, she has a habit of climbing up on a chair. And that's not something I really want her to do, so I think I might end up getting her a step ladder, like a little thing, not a 17-footer, obviously. Something that's got, like, you know, maybe 4 or 5 steps on it. That's really all she would need. So, still in the A-frame style ladder or step or whatever. That's a lot better. My grandma's actually got a little 3-stepper step ladder thing. It's, you know, it's just got 3 steps on it. So it works, but I don't think she uses it anymore. But that was actually my great grandma's. When she lived there at one time, she was always messing around with her curtains, always painting something, or, you know, she was kind of a short girl too, so she never really could get up into the cabinets, so she always had to use the step ladder thingy. So that's why it served its purpose for her, and my regular grandma never used it. My uncle's tall, so he don't need it. So I don't need it either. But I need something to get up on my roof, you know. I gotta get on my roof. I'm not going to charge, a plumber $65 just to figure out my problem when I think I could just simply do it myself. And if you think about it, I only have to buy a ladder once, and that's the end of it. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to take off. These parties for a super long video. Like I said, I'll put the links below. Let me know what you guys think of that, and then yeah, I'll probably, like I said, I'll buy the extensions and stuff for it later on or whatever. So, but yeah, anyway, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.